Hello, Barn here, masquerading as Cuckoo. In 1 week's time, I am going to be speaking at Bridgwaters Breakfast Club. I'm going to speak about conscious branding, and I've got a 30-minute slot. Now, conscious branding is a very big subject. So to save myself some time on the day, I thought I would say something now about how I come to be given the talk. And that will both save me time, and secondly, hopefully it might make you want to come. So, for the last 10 years, I have been running my own small business where I work predominantly as a graphic designer. And in that time, my clients have ranged from everything from the self-employed dog walker through to global mega corporations such as Intel. And I imagine that the trip that my business has taken me on would be really quite familiar to many of us. In terms of getting the work and making a name for myself, exploring the legal and financials of the business, getting somewhere to work from, in my case, building up a studio, employing people, developing product and exploring how to bring that to the market. And through PAYE, NI, VAT, becoming a tax collector, which isn't really something I had wanted to do, I have to say. But this is what we have to do, isn't it, when we run a business? And so, for me, all of it, really, beyond the need to earn a living, it was or has been an excuse to explore one very simple question firsthand. And that question is, what is a brand? Now, I really appreciate that this might seem like a very long-winded approach to finding an answer. Surely I could just punch it into Google and look at what other people have got to say. Well, of course I did. And even now, 10 years later, if you look on Google, the definitions, they're not adequate. Firstly, there's lots of them, and they all say something slightly different. So there's clearly a lot of confusion. And certainly, in my working life, when I was nearly 20 years ago, when I was at university, on what was essentially a degree course pretty much in branding for designers, it was clear that there was an amount of blag going on. My lecturers could not give me an adequate definition for the word brand. And when I worked in corporate, speaking to CEOs and directors of huge companies, it was clear they didn't really know what a brand was. And when I worked as a freelancer, going in and out of a variety of design studios and advertising agencies and marketing companies, speaking with my peers, it was clear that none of us really knew what a brand was. And we all had a good idea, but it wasn't clear, and ultimately we were all kind of winging it to some extent. And so I feel that my whole industry, and in turn its customers, so really I'm talking about the entire global commercial world, to name but one sector, I feel like we're all crashing forward unconsciously. We're all engaged in branding, but we don't know what a brand is. And so over the years, my interest has become an obsession. I need to answer this question. And I've been able to explore it and the subject through my work. And as, it's an obsession because it felt like it was really important. And my intuition was that it was a worthy pursuit. And I've subsequently come to understand that if we hold a superficial understanding of what a brand is, then we build superficial brands, which result in a superficial culture. But if we can hold a deep understanding, then we can create a culture with depth. So really, I'm talking about here meaning and purpose. I'm talking about our lives having meaning and purpose. I'm talking about our work having meaning and purpose. I don't know about you, but I work really hard. I want it to count for something. And I found that conscious branding opens the door and allows us to go somewhere very deep, very quickly, and bring something from those depths into the world through what we're doing, through our branding. And this is why I think it's a subject that's really worthy of your attention. So, 16th of May, 2018, Bridgwaters Breakfast Club. I really hope you can come. There will be a link somewhere around here that will allow you to buy a ticket, and it will tell you where to go and exactly when. And I really hope you can come, and I hope you will find value in some of the insights that I will be exploring. So until then, ask yourself the question, what is a brand?